Hello and welcome to another episode of Cyrils Brettspiele. My name is Nils, and today, in a nutshell, Tumult Royale, KOSMOS games, Fames and KOSMOS here in the United States. And take a look at this, the royals running away from the mob. So what's going on in Tumult Royale? First of all, this is a setup for 4 players, so if you play with less players, you simply remove a little bit of this frame and make this here smaller. However, this is for 4 players and it's a max of 4 players. In Tumult Royale, you are a royal person, a royal family, and you wanted to bring your statues, these are these little tiny tokens here, onto the board. So you wanted to have in every single corner of this kingdom here your statue, that everybody can see you are the most important family. That's the goal of the game, and you play the game up to 11 rounds. It's a little bit of variable when the game ends. However, you are playing and bring out these statues onto the board. First of all, what I really like and what is really cool, here's the flow of the game. The sequence of each round is printed on here. First of all, you gauge the people's sentiment. So that means you take this spinner here, you spin it, and there are areas 2, 3, 4, or 5. What does this mean? In this stack here, so you should definitely, when you have this, push that far away to the side. If you have ever played Galaxy Trucker, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So in this stack here, you have bread, you have tools, and you have somewhere stone or marmor. That's the 3 types of resources. Right now, the people demands 3 of each. So not 3 tiles, the number on it is. This would be enough for the demand of the people. This as well and that as well. However, there are 1, 2, or 3 numbers on this tiles. So, but this is the first. You spin that one here. Then you take a little bit out of this big stack here. Per player, each player just simply take out 3 tiles. If you play with less than 4 players, there are decent number of fewer tiles in it. So in this case, you take out 12 of these tiles here. Each player simply take out 3, and this is the remaining stack. Now we are greedy royals, and really greedy royals have 20 seconds to take this commodity tiles here out of the middle. So you flip over this sand timer here. It's roughly 22 minutes, and what you're doing is with one hand peek at it and decide, do you want that? Yes or no? Take it here. Let's assume you're taking tons of these tiles here, blah blah blah. Some others taking these commodities here. So that's what it's gone. And keep in mind, the people needed 3 of each. At the end, usually it's someone is screaming, time is over! However, at the end, you can take a look what's inside left over. And now you see, oh, there are a bunch of tools left over. Not enough stone, 2, but the people demanded 3, and no bread. So what the crowd is doing is now hanging the greediest player. So you flip over all your tiles and you see, resolve every single resource at a time. You see, this guy has 3, 6, 9, 10 bread. This royal has only 2. He is fine. He has 3 and he has 3. He's fine. So what he is doing, first of all, he was the greediest player. He has to give up everything except the lowest. If he would have taken this 9, he would be lucky and can have 1 of these. However, in this case, he gave up 3 of this 9 for free. So he gets nothing back. And during the game, you have these followers or supporters. I explain what these supporters doing in a second. On top of giving up your goods, you also have to give up 3 of your supporters. So really, really bad. If you are too greedy, that's bad. Let's assume it wasn't like this. It was like this. He has 3, 6, 9, and this guy had 10. Then he can have all of that. He was really good in estimating that he was a little bit greedier. After that, you resolve the same with marbles. Oh, here 5, here 6. Again, he's the greatest, and he is giving that away as well. keep in mind, he has to give up 3 of his supporters again. So he lost a bunch of tiles. He lost 6 supporters. He was simply too greedy. And the mob, the people wanted to lynch him, so he is lynched. That is what is happening in this phase, collect taxes. We also resolved the potential tumults and now place status. Whatever you have left over here in this, you can build status. If you build adjacent on a pasture, forest, mountain, village or city, you need these resources to build, or if it's not adjacent, it's anywhere on the board, you can only build on fields or in the forest. You simply take one of your statues, and again, this is the goal of the game, and place it adjacent to you somewhere here. Maybe you mention that little villages has 2 spots and cities have 3 spots to build statues. If you build in a city, you build all of the 3 down and you get rid of 3 statues. And the goal is to get rid of these statues onto the board. As you can see, we are simply following this list here. You play one area on the board here at a time. Then it's player 2, player 3, player 4, and so on. By the way, the player number is King, Duke, Prince at the turn order, and then Earl. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if player King can place another area, then he can play another turn. That is placing statues. Then redistribute ranks. That is where you take a look who will become the next king. The king will become the player with the most of these supporters. You start the game with a bunch of these supporters in a 3-player game, for an example 15 supporters, but you lose them over the turn of the game. You can get a couple of back, but usually you are losing more than you are getting back. So the king, whoever has the most of these supporters here, tiebreaker by the way is an old rank, so the king will never give up his rank when he not has to. So the king can place another statue here and build in the royal area another statue, and then you go on. Crown the king, we did already that, and then the people show mercy. The person who has not enough on here gets a little bit of a goodie at the end of the round. Usually the people show no mercy, but sometimes they show, and that means simply when it comes to a tumult, you can reduce your number of goods. So in this case he has not 3 tools, it counts as 2 tools. After that, the next round will come around and you play the game until this end here. You flip that over during the course of the game, a little bit more expanding so people can go on. It will be getting crowded here on the board, no question about that. So it's a little bit of area control, but the main mechanic is this real-time grabbing taxes. Now it's time to relax a little bit and talk about my personal experiences, like always in a nutshell. And first of all, I have to admit that I'm not a huge fan of, for an example, Galaxy Tucker. Galaxy Tucker is for me too hectic, too stressful, blah blah blah. However, this one has a real good mix of resource management, building, time pressure, hectic, peeking at these tiles, taking these tiles. You also have only 11 rounds, a max of 11 rounds. It sounds very short, and on the box it says up to around 40 minutes. However, we played always a little bit longer. So, by the way, this is randomly. You have up to 10 tiles, and you only need 8 in a 4-player game. So, everything is randomized each time you play the game. But let's talk about this 20 seconds or 22 seconds of peeking at these tiles. The pressure, it's such a tense thing. You should, by the way, not stacking them on top of each other. It's so tense. You peek at it, and 3. Do I need 3? What do I want it to do? And you waste time thinking about what do you want. Put it on here. Now you know you have 3 bread. I have to find some more stones. No stone, no stone, no stone, no stone. but there are three other hands looking for that. They are grabbing the stone. They are grabbing the stone. And then you figure out, okay, oh, I grabbed this. I cannot build any single piece with that. Why I was so slow, so stupid, wasted around. It could also happen that you picked so much good tiles and you were not the greediest player, or there are enough tools and bread in the middle and someone else has to pay, that you had a glorious round, and then you can bring out your statues onto the board. So yeah, let's flip a little bit back to my personal experience. I played that game in the last weeks a couple of times, especially with this Wonder Kids, with the students from Kathleen. I think you know them from Kathleen's Table Talk with me. So, and you can imagine kids, even if they are really experienced players, kids really like this hectic style of game. And the atmosphere around the table was so great that even if I'm not the biggest fan of Galaxy Trucker, I really liked it. I enjoyed it. It became more and more fun. And when this kid screamed, to be honest, last time I played it, I surprised myself by being really emotional when the other kid peeked at it and picked away the last piece, flipped it over because the time was over, and it was exactly the tile I needed, and I had nothing. So I had something like this, not even a single stone, and as you can see here, you cannot build anything without stone. So I had not even a single stone, and he took the last stone. I had not the chance to pick even a single stone, and I was so angry. I was so pissed off. Yeah. Long story and no end, sounds like, but I have to admit, I really, really, really enjoyed it over the last couple of weeks. When I read the rules and when I opened it for the first time and when I played it with adults for the first time, it was a little bit rocky, it was a little bit dry, and not everybody was involved in liking that one. But when I played it for the first time with this kids, wow, that was a totally different level of experience for me. And we played it, I would say, 6, 7, 8 times in the last weeks. And we will have in the next day's convention here in town, and there's a play to win for Tumult Royale. And almost every kid I played with it said, okay, I will compete in this play to win. I will play it 10 times, 15 times in this 4 days just to get the hands on this Tumult Royale. They love it. And this atmosphere, this whole thing going around the table, I was not cold-hearted around the table. No, I was I was part of this crowd. I was so happy that this kids gave me another view on Tumult Royale, and now I have to say, it's a great game. If I would judge on that game without that experience, I would probably say, ooh, a little bit dry. So, bottom line is, you need people who are in that, who like to grab fast, who are a little bit hectic, who simply love games and styles like this. And then it's an outstanding game. Otherwise, it's okay, but don't play that game with just people who are not interested in hectic games. That was my personal opinion on Tumult Royale from KOSMOS Games. And as you can hear, it's mixed. However, switch on next time when Cyrils Brettspiele, my name is Nils, taking another look to another game and telling you about my personal experience and the personal experience with different player groups. See you next time. Bye bye.